Thank you, Barry. And coming up next on The Beat Goes On, we welcome back fresh from the ready-to-run sales at Karaka, John Galvin. John has purchased a beautiful new colt ready to win races. Be part of a winning team put together by John and Fortuna Syndications. John Galvin, good to have you back on The Beat Goes On.
Great to be here as always, Jared.
And you have, you've got to be the luckiest man alive. Your horses in Singapore are just outperforming themselves. Tell us about the latest wonderful win. Well, it was only a couple of weeks ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, Eaton's Gold. We've seen him on the show before, Jared, and he's now won 4 times in Singapore from about 21 starts and won over $200,000 up there. And so a very happy group of owners. He's just a lovely horse, not an absolute champion, but a real good, honest performer that tries hard every time he races.
But let's have a look at Eaton Gold, because we've talked about him, and our viewers would love to see Eaton Gold just doing wonders in Singapore.
This was a lovely ride by Manuel Nunes, the jockey.
For the back with Magic Ocean coming around the turn, and here comes McVolks now, races up on the outside of Big Sequalo. Further back then Mighty Creation, Probo Shenroso. Eaton's Gold, he's close enough to strike here, but he's hemmed up badly. Big Sequalo gives a real fight from McVolks, who's just given a bit of a gap to Eaton's Gold, and that might be it. Eaton's Gold storms through Mighty Creation. McVolks history now. It's Eaton's Gold in front from Mighty Creation, and it's Eaton's Gold who wins by a length. Second Mighty Creation, McVolks third, then Big Sequalo.
Very classy.
John.
Yeah, very classy.
Oh, lovely feeling, isn't it? That's what keeps everybody going, these great wins. So let's explain to our viewers who may be seeing John Galvin for the first time tonight. There's probably only about 3 in New Zealand, but tell them what Fortuna's all about.
Yeah, so Fortuna Limited is a thoroughbred syndication company. We're authorised thoroughbred syndicators. And what we do is we go to horse sales. Sometimes we buy from private buyers and buy horses that we think are really nice athletes that can be one day successful on the racetrack. And we put those horses together in a package. We call that a syndicate. And then we sell shares in that syndicate, 10%, 5%, 2.5% to members of the public. And that's my job, is to put all that together and market the shares, and then manage the horses after that through their racing careers, and get the owners together on race days to share the success and celebrate.
Now, John, you've been busy. You haven't been sitting still. As we said, we've got about 24 horses, but it's an ongoing. You look at horses all the time. You've got the yearling sales at Karaka, and just recently, within the last week or so, it's the ready-to-run sales at Karaka. What's the difference between the yearling and the ready-to-runs?
Okay, so yearling horses, the yearling sales happen in January, and those horses at that point are about 15 or 16 months old. Later in the year, in November, we have the ready-to-run sale for 2-year-olds. So these are horses that were yearlings last January, now they're 2-year-olds. They've been broken in, they've had a preparation, they've been galloped, so we know something about them, and they then go to this ready-to-run sale, and we get the opportunity to buy a nice horse or two at that particular sale.
You were there with the team and you saw a great horse.
Yeah, well, we've got a great team, and prior to the ready-to-run sale, they have breeze-up gallops, what they call breeze-up gallops. Yeah. And this is where these horses, remember they've been broken in, actually gallop for about 400 metres down the racetrack at Te Rapa and Hamilton. And all of that is filmed. Now, Mark Walker, who's our very successful trainer in Singapore, he trains Eaton's Gold that we just saw a moment ago, he viewed all of that footage, and he selected half a dozen horses whose breeze-ups really impressed him. And then my local team, which is David Ellis, the principal of Te Akau Racing, and Jason Bridgman, our New Zealand-based trainer, then went through those horses and drew up a short list based on how they looked physically, how they walked, and so on and so forth. And all of that led us to buying this lovely 2-year-old gelding by Keeper.
What do you see, John? Why is this horse so...
Okay, first of all, he's got size. He's tall and he's long. And what that means is that he's, if we were talking about All Blacks, big and strong, rugby league players, he's a natural athlete. He's a lovely walking horse. To my eye, he's got what I call scope, which means he's still got growing and maturing and developing to do, which means that he, as a 3, 4 and 5-year-old, he's likely to be a very good racehorse.
Now, we're looking at him walking up and down at Karaka, but what about having a look at him on the track? You talked about a breeze up, they call it. So let's have a look at him now, shall we?
Yeah.
He's a beauty, isn't he? So what did Mark Walker see in this particular horse when he was running?
Several things. First of all, a really nice, easy galloping action. Carries his head low. Finished the breeze up off nicely under no significant pressure. So while it's only a short distance that these horses are galloping over,
you can see the way they run.
Yes,
can't you? Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
It's there's a lot that an experienced eye can get out of watching a breeze up like that.
So you now have him, you've purchased him. What happens next?
Okay, well, first of all, this horse is going to go straight to Singapore to race. It's a very important point to make. And the interesting thing about that is that when he first starts in Singapore, which will be about the 1st of April, prize money in Singapore is already very good, but it's actually going up. And so when he has his first start in Singapore, he'll be racing for 75,000 Singapore dollars as prize money. One Singapore dollar is about the same as a New Zealand dollar. Here in New Zealand, if he was having his first start, he'd be racing for $7,000. Yeah, and this is why we race horses in Singapore.
Yeah.
We also race horses in New Zealand as well, but about half our team's in Singapore because the prize money is so good.
John, there is a stampede happening in New Zealand at the moment. People running for the phone. They need a number to call you, and they also need a price. So which will you do first, the price or the phone number?
Let's talk about the financial side
Okay.
of it. I mentioned before that people can take a 10% or a 5% or even a 2.5% share. And the way we put these syndicates together, we package it up into an initial cost, which includes everything to start with, the cost of the horse, insurance through to the end of January 2015, the cost of transporting the horse to Singapore, the various fees that we had to pay, vet fees to get the horse fully examined. By the way, he passed his vet test with flying colours.
Wow.
So there's nothing hidden.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, for a 5% share in this horse,
I'm going to write it down.
Yep.
5%.
is $4,700 for initial costs.
Yes.
Obviously, a 10% share is twice as much as that, so that's $9,400.
Yep.
And a 2.5% share is $2,350. And then we have ongoing costs.
Oh yes,
yeah.
don't forget. Yep.
So
10% share is 150, isn't it?
No, a 10% share is $300 a month.
Oh, 300. That's right.
Which starts on
Monthly.
the 1st of January 2014.
Yep.
5% share is $150 a month.
That's the one I was thinking.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a 2.5% share is $75 a month.
Now, John, the telephone number to reach John Galvin from Fortuna.
Jerry, there might be a few viewers out there that have got a few questions or queries. Feel free to give me a call. All the information's on the website as well. But the best number to get me on is my cell number, which is 021 921 460.
460.
There's also an 0800 number, a 24/7 number, 0800 100 667.
667.
And of course, there's the website. All this information, including the breeze up clip, etc., is on that website. www.fortuna-nz.com.
Nz.com. No excuse for not getting hold of you, John.
No excuse.
There's
at all,
no
Jerry.
excuse at all. Exciting life, John.
Yeah, it is. It's
I think I'll
very
get into
pleasurable.
that. I'll get out of television and get into horse racing. It's more exciting. Thanks, John.
All right, Jerry.
See you see you in 2 weeks' time. Thank you, John. The Beat Goes On. We'll be back after the break with special guest David Fisher.